Okay, a good afternoon. For me, a little bit earlier than normal. Let's see and wait if there are going to be some viewers that are going to join so that we can have a little discussion on what we can anticipate in the market actually. Majors, of course, saw a huge bullish expansion last week with dollar collapsing lower. Let's remove this so that I can draw it out in real time. Going to wait a little bit to see if more viewers are willing to join in, and otherwise I'm just going to start, and it will be a little bit of a shorter stream if there are no participants going in. Hello Kalechi, Afri Trade. Hope you're doing good, guys. Do I trade BTC? Not really, but I can analyze it for you if you want. But personally, no, I'm not really a crypto trader. I mainly trade the forex market, and now and then I also trade futures on Nasdaq and ES, but not really into Bitcoin on like actively day trading. Sometimes on the odd occasion I am in a setup, but it does not happen that much. Afritrade, I'm good, man. I hope that you're doing good, okay, as well. Investor, hello, man. Good afternoon. All right, with some of the viewers hopping in, I would like to start off with going over the overall market, the things that I'm looking at right at the moment. If you have any questions, make sure to leave them in the chat down below so that I can cover them. First of all, I will do my talk in general, and later on, I am going to answer your questions, guys. Okay. The thing is, let's start off on the dollar index. Last week was, of course, pretty crazy. We had the weekly open and we saw an immediate drop, and the drop didn't stop. We were aiming last week for lower prices in the form of the fair value gap and the sell side liquidity pool. Well, the fair value gap has been ran through. With the run through of this fair value gap, we can now look at this sell side liquidity pool on the daily as our draw on liquidity. So I'm looking for the dollar index to trade towards this low, which is at 103.373. This is the target on the daily. It could be reached today, doesn't have to. Most of the time, Monday can be a little bit more tricky, so I tend to avoid the Monday. But this will be the first target of the week that I'm aiming for. Personally, I would like to see a retracement move before anticipating, because look, in the entire range, we are so deep in a discount that it is basically impossible for me to short. So I would like to see a retracement. This is the dealing range that we are working with right now, because we have a clear OB. This should not be violated. We have a swing high with the OB created and a push down lower, so this should not be violated. I am personally looking for a run on these highs. Most ideal would be a move towards this hourly gap. We have this hourly fair value gap right over here. That would be ideal to frame sells from. So a retracement higher back towards premium of the range inside of the hourly gap would be ideal to see a move towards the daily level at 103.37. It has a lot of confluences, this area right over here, because we are in premium of the range. We will be hitting a daily fair value gap. We are at the OTE levels of the hourly range. We are at an hourly level, so this would be the most ideal scenario. Is this for sure going to happen? No, of course not. We never know what's going to happen, but this is what I'm anticipating to happen, and I would like to see cells created from, which would be perfect. So a move back into premium of the range would be ideal on dollar. Confirmation for a dollar continuing being bearish is coming from T-bonds. Looking at the daily structure on bonds in general, personally, I'm still bullish. I would like to see price liquidate this high over here, this buy side liquidity pool at 120. Last week, we saw a retracement. That retracement took place back into discount of the range, hit a key level in the form of the daily fair value gap, and now with that being said, I would like to see an internal range move from this daily fair value gap back into external range. First target would be at 119.19, and the remainder of the target would be at 120.10. So with bonds being bullish, that is another confirmation, of course, for dollar going lower. I still want the major currencies to go higher in general. Starting it off on the weekly time frame, I'm personally looking for this IPDA high on euro dollar on the weekly as our first target. If we are smashing through that, we are going to aim for this weekly gap, but we shouldn't go ahead of ourselves. We need to take it level for level. So this is the buy side liquidity pool that is the main target on the on euro dollar. Of course, also taken into consideration, which is previous weekly high. However, again, we cannot be a buyer right over here. We are too deep into a premium already. So we need to see discounted levels being respected, and then we can have that move higher again. The level that I'm interested in is this weekly gap, which could be used as an inversion right now because we smashed through it completely. So I would like to see a move down lower into this weekly gap to get a move higher towards the buy side liquidity pool. And zooming in on the hourly, that gives us a, let's start with the 4 hour. On the 4 hour, you can clearly see here, this is that weekly gap, which I've marked out. We have a 4 hour gap right over here, and that 4 hour gap is nicely created just below this hourly swing low. Picking up the dealing range. Nicely, a swing low formed relatively close towards the equilibrium of the dealing range, so I would like to see a move down lower back into a discount of the dealing range. After the dealing range short-term low has been liquidated, I would like to see a move higher, where I would like to see it move towards previous weekly high and at 1.09366 level. Price is now simply just consolidating. We took out both sides of Asia and not really favorable conditions to trade it right now and right away. So not really ideal to trade it right over here. it's a no trade zone for me. Want to see a deeper retracement into deeper levels to get the buying opportunity. You do not want it to reach that hourly gap. This hourly gap is valid. It could definitely retrace into this hourly gap. Yeah. It's not that this gap needs to stay open, but it could be the case that we are not going to see a fill of this gap due to the levels that it is overlapping with. But we could definitely wick into this. It's not that that I'm utilizing it as a breakaway gap. This low should not be violated if we are truly bullish from these levels. So this is your absolute invalidation point on the hourly. Brings that to British pound. Look, we are a little bit in the same boat here. I would like to see a move towards this inversion level, but I do not think that we are in particularly going to reach it. Why? EG is showing a little bit more weakness in general, so that means that we are going to see more significant strength on pound. It could be the case that that would be the better long, but that is also why I'm anticipating this gap not being utilized, and that we are going to utilize this daily gap. We could still, of course, wick into it, but I do think that this daily gap would be the main trigger point for us as a potential opportunity. With that being said, I would like still to see a move liquidating this short-term low into that daily gap so that we can frame a move higher, and this is the main target on a GBP USD at 1.30480. But again, EG is showing weakness, so it could be the case that we are going to see an earlier run on GU compared to EU. But for now, I'm still eyeing the short-term low to be taken out first on both pairs instead of being willing into getting into a trade right now. Last but not least is for me on the watch list right now is Nasdaq. Nasdaq has been incredibly bearish. And I do not think that it is going to stop anytime soon. This area right over here is balanced, so we do not really have to see any kinds of significant retracements. I do think that we are going to have relatively continued selling and that it will sustain. First target on Nasdaq would be this daily gap right over here, and the second target, if we could violate the daily gap, is this sell side liquidity pool at 18,866, but that is still relatively far away for now. Again, you need to take it level for level, so this daily gap should be your first target as a low-hanging fruit objective. So that is in general like my market view right now. So I'm looking for lower dollar, higher major currencies, and I'm looking for lower Nasdaq. If you have any questions in regards to the overall outlook, make sure to utilize the chat so that we can, so that I can cover some of your questions. And if not, then that's also fine. Or maybe you have like a specific chart you want to see me analyze. I can do that as well. So everything is okay to be asked. We good, man, on EU and DXY. I was expecting some pullback on both pairs. Yeah, I'm hoping to see a pullback as well to hop in some longs, but we don't know. We have to wait. It is also something that needs to be added since last week was absolutely massive. It could very much be the case that we are going to have a week where we are just going to be consolidating. Because after an expansion, price often tends to be in a a little bit of a retracement, or we are just consolidating. It is not often happening that we are going to see massive expansion followed by massive expansion if you understand how the market cycles are working. So that's just something that I would like to add in general for how the market is looking right now. Okay, so you would put a limit order above the FEG. You mean on Euro Investor? I think it would be more favorable to like scale in. Maybe allow yourself to add positions. I do think that I would not be waiting for this hourly gap. I do think that personally I would scale in a little bit earlier and then allow myself to get in another position in the hourly gap. FTMO started to offer DXY. Are there specific things to keep in mind when trading this versus EU and GU? Honestly, of course, you need to analyze them in general. How is the market looking? Are they moving in the same direction? Are they not? Is everything aligned with each other? S&T. So basically, you need to look at the same things in my eyes. But it could be a little bit easier maybe to analyze DXY and trade that as well. So that could be the case. Le Baron, good afternoon. I did an entire outlook already, so you can watch it back from this stream. And if you want to see anything in specifically analyzed, then you can just leave your suggestion in the chat. I do really want to drop lower first. This for now this is a no trade zone for me. So, but who knows? Who knows if we are getting the drop? Also, guys, make sure that you know that it is like daylight savings in the US. So for people outside of the US, the time zone shifted. So make sure that you are aware of that. In the meantime, I'm actually curious how BTC is looking. It doesn't look too shabby, huh? Maybe liquidate those highs. Maybe something like this. Liquidate those highs into this propulsion block. Stop above the 4-hour range. Targeting sell side. Maybe, but I'm not a real crypto trader, so. But this could be something. I do think it is very much possible that we are going to see the run, at least on these highs. I mean, these are way too smooth. Drop. I do think that we can reach these highs at 86.6. And then maybe if we liquidate them, then we are going to see the new move lower. Also, guys, I would like to appreciate it if you enjoy this and listening to me talking. Then if you could smash the like button on the stream, it helps the channel grow, and it's some sort of sign of appreciation. It looks like we are just going to see the run higher, huh? Which would be annoying. Yeah, bonds are too strong early in the week. They are just going to see and use this as a draw liquidity. And with bonds being very strong, we are likely going to see a early run on majors. But I'm still going to be patient. As you can see, I have my alert set. And if it drops, then it's everything absolutely okay. Look, guys, it is important to look. I have a trading model, and the trading model that I use, I feel comfortable with it. And if something just flies away for 1,000 pips, honestly, I don't care. It is very much important that you need to understand that there will always be another chance to get in or to get another trade in. So if you miss one massive move, it happens. And the thing that is important, if that happens, that you need to stay calm and stick to your plan and do not make any like drastic adjustments just because you missed those kinds of moves. The market will be there tomorrow as well. Okay, guys. Do you have any specific things you would like to see? Or maybe you have other questions. It could also be like educational stuff. And if you guys are not really having anything, then I think I'm going to close off the stream. Investor, bye bye, man. Relatively short one, but I mean, personally, my market view is clear. I do not think that we are going to get it, but okay, guys. Then I'm going to close off the stream. Relatively short one, but make sure to watch it back if you want. I did an entire outlook in the video, so that you can watch and see. And if you have a good eye, you can entirely see the model that I am utilizing myself to get into the positions that I can. So, guys, I would like to wish you guys a very nice rest of your day, and I speak to you guys soon. Bye bye.